What's up? This is Dynasty Mir. I'm shooting this video and I'm going to title it, um, in my opinion, why people who are going to Africa for the first time should travel to Tanzania first instead of South Africa. And I'm not bashing the South African people. I absolutely love the people in South Africa. And again, my favorite airport in Africa is the Joburg airport. But in my honest opinion, I feel as if South Africa is overly or very westernized compared to the other countries. And what I mean by that is, as someone once told me in Atlanta, that even though there are a lot of black faces in Atlanta, there's no culture. And I feel that also applies to South Africa as well. Um, and I tell people this story. I went to South Africa, went to visited Cape Town, Joburg, and then I wanted to see the Zulu because when I go to Africa, I love to spend time with the indigenous people that are still, keeping their indigenous ways and live the indigenous way. So went to in Durban. The gateway to Zulu country, as they call it, is KwaZulu-Natal. I think I pronounced it right. If I didn't, forgive me. I'm sorry. So I tell my guide, hey, I want to see the Zulu, the real Zulu. I want to see him. I want to spend time with him. I want to spend a couple days with him. And he says, okay. But like the okay he gave me was an okay that wasn't in truth. It was like, I'm going to show you the Zulu, but it's not going to be the Zulu, if you know what I mean. So he takes me to a place called Shakaland in Durban, in KwaZulu-Natal. And we pull up, and when I go to Africa, people they assume that I'm a native, which we all are, because of the slave trade. But I mean, we're all African, but they assume that I'm just coming back to visit, that I'm originally from the countries that I go to or the tribes that I visit. So we pull up to Shakaland. I hop out the car, and there's two guys standing in front in skinny jeans, polo shirts with the collar popped out. I mean, like we dress in America. So they look at me, they speak to me in the Zulu language, and I don't speak Zulu. So I look at them like, I don't understand. And so my guide tells them, that basically I'm not from here, I'm from America. So they quickly go back into the Shakaland. And Shakaland is where they shot Zulu, the Shaka Zulu series, that biopic that was out back in the 80s. You need to check it out. It's like the Black Game of Thrones. So they immediately go rush back into Shakaland, which is like a theme park now. And then they come back out like dressed up in their Zulu attire, like they just got, like it's Halloween. So, I go in, they perform, and, they give me a tour of Shakaland and how the Zulu people once lived. And then at the end, they take off their Zulu outfits and put back on their westernized American street clothes, that like how black people dress in America. So I was disappointed because I was wanting the African, like the Zulu culture, but you really can't. I mean, you can experience it somewhat, but it isn't like when you go to Dogon country and when you go to sit with the Maasai and with the Himba, where they're, you know, Himba, Maasai, and Dogon, as far as the way of life, 24/7, the indigenous way of life. So I was kind of disappointed. So left, and then that was it. And I went to Cape Town and Joburg. Like I said, Cape Town is Orange County, but with more black people. And Joburg is pretty much New York. So I felt as if I didn't have a authentic African experience when I was in South Africa. And let me step back for a second. I'm not saying there's no culture in South Africa, even though I did say that. I'm sorry, I apologize. But as far as the indigenous way of life, spending time with the indigenous people and how they lived, I didn't experience that in South Africa, and I was somewhat disappointed. I was disappointed. And then also too, I know we've been talking a lot about black economic empowerment. From what I observed in South Africa, Indians and whites, are the Afrikaans, whatever they call themselves, they run South Africa. they control the economics of South Africa. So the nasty stench of apartheid is still in effect in South Africa, because we know. I read Nelson Mandela's book, Long Walk to Freedom, and he mentioned that basically the blacks or the natives were on the bottom of the totem pole, and then the Indians were above them. So, of course, the Indians, they still operate as if they're, in the eyes of white supremacy, they're still superior to us. And, read some of the old quotes by Gandhi, and he talks about that. So, again, and then also to been to Tanzania twice. I mean, you can spend time with the Maasai, Zanzibar, which is one of my favorite places on the planet. I know people love Cape Town, but Zanzibar is by far one of the most beautiful places on the planet as far as beaches, culture, and just life. You could climb Mount Kilimanjaro. You could go to Serengeti on a safari. I know in South Africa they have Kruger National Park. I'm not big on safari because I really don't care about animals like that. It's like one line and there's like 25 safari mobiles surrounded around the line, and it's lame to me, but it's whatever. I did Serengeti when I was in Tanzania, and also I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, and I'm going to climb it again in December and go back to Zanzibar. You can spend time with the Maasai, like I said. And it's incredible. It's more, in my opinion, an authentic African experience. Dar es Salaam, when they make the call to prayer, because Tanzania, where Dar es Salaam is predominantly Muslim, and Zanzibar is predominantly Muslim, and the north where Arusha is Christian. But in Dar es Salaam, when they make the call, the prayer, it gives you goosebumps just to hear it on the loudspeaker is beautiful. The Muslim call to prayer, Adhan, I think it's called. But that's why I say Tanzania over South Africa, because I think a lot of people want to go to South Africa first because they're afraid of the unknown, and the unknown is Africa. But South Africa is so westernized, they feel as if, or they will be more comfortable in South Africa. But like I said, they're going to miss out on the experience, the African experience, in my honest opinion. That's why I tell people when they go to South Africa, go to Namibia or go to Congo or go to Zimbabwe, so you could at least experience Africa. Because in my honest opinion, as another South African told me at the Johannesburg airport, South Africa is America, Africa. Those were his exact words. You're in South Africa, you're pretty much in America. And like we said, and as you know it, America strongly supported the apartheid movement or government in South Africa. So South Africa is America, pretty much, as the South African once told me. So those are just a few reasons on why Tanzania over South Africa. Again, Tanzania, Kilimanjaro, Serengeti. You can experience a more indigenous way of life with the Maasai, and Zanzibar, the best place on the planet. Check out my other videos. Leave a comment. Follow me. Share if you think this video helped. Go to www.searchforuhuru.com. Donate. Like I said, we're working on a project so all Africans of the diaspora could go back home. So I think that's very important. So again, share, leave a comment, follow me, subscribe to my page, check me out. And I'll be doing another video soon. So I'm out.